Have you ever wanted to learn how to perfectly part stitch braids? Today, I'm challenging you to master the stitch braids parting technique. I'll be showing you how to do it step by step, even if you're a total beginner. One of the biggest challenges beginners face when trying to achieve stitch braids is parting the hair. It can be tough to section off the right amount of hair, and even tougher to maintain the tension needed to get that perfect stitch. Another issue is dealing with flyaways and stray hairs that refuse to cooperate. And let's not forget about the actual braiding process itself. It can be a bit fiddly, especially if you're new to braiding. But don't worry, I've been there too, and I've learned a few tricks along the way to make the process so much smoother. Something that really helps is using a wide-tooth comb to detangle the hair and blow drying the hair before you start braiding. This makes it way easier to section off the hair and get a clean part. Another tip is to use a little bit of styling product to keep those flyaways in check. Okay, so let's get started with the actual stitch braids parting technique. Using your rat tail comb, the first step is to divide the hair into 2 equal halves. Then divide the first half in the middle. Apply hair gel and clean up the part. Depending on the number of stitch braids you want to achieve, section the front of the first half into equal parts. In this case, we want 6 stitch braids, so we will divide the front of the first half into 3 equal parts. We braid each divided section for easy manipulation. Then proceed with dividing the back of the first half into 3 equal parts. Braid each divided section. For the second half, make a straight part from the middle to the ear. Apply hair gel and clean up the part. Divide the second half of the front into 3 equal parts. Braid each divided section. Then proceed with dividing the back of the second half into 3 equal parts as well. Braid each divided section. Now that we're done with learning how to make our perfect and equal parts, let's get started with the actual stitch braids technique. The first step is to take the first front part and the first back part, apply your hair gel, use your rat tail comb to clean up the part, Next, you're going to separate a small piece of the front hair. Divide the section into 2 equal parts. Apply gel in the middle of the parted section and on both sides of the part. I am going to show you 2 different techniques for making the perfect stitches. The first technique is using the parting tool to make the stitches. Begin a regular braid from the small piece of hair separated at the front. Instead of crossing the strands over each other, you're going to cross them under. Using your parting tool, make a small horizontal part on the left side. Cross the parted hair in between your index finger and thumb of your right hand. Make a horizontal part on the right side. Cross the parted hair in between your index finger and thumb of your left hand. This is what gives stitch braids their signature stitched look. As you continue braiding, make sure to keep the tension even and gentle. You don't want to pull too hard, or you'll end up with a braid that's too tight. And remember to keep those stray hairs tamed with a little bit of gel as you braid. Another thing to keep in mind is to braid in small sections, especially if you're new to stitch braids. This will make it easier to manage the hair and get a neater braid. The second technique I'll be showing you is using the rat tail comb to make the stitches. Take the front part and the back part. Apply your hair gel. Use your rat tail comb to clean up the part. Next, you're going to separate a small piece of the front hair. Divide the section into 2 equal parts. Apply gel in the middle of the parted section. Using your rat tail comb, make a small horizontal part on the right side. Cross the parted hair in between your index finger and thumb of your left hand. Make a horizontal part on the left side. Cross the parted hair in between your index finger and thumb of your right hand. As you continue braiding, make sure to keep the tension even and gentle. You don't want to pull too hard, or you'll end up with a braid that's too tight. Another thing to keep in mind is to braid in small sections, especially if you're new to stitch braids. This will make it easier to manage the hair and get a neater braid. And remember to keep those stray hairs tamed with a little bit of gel as you braid. Although the parting tool method is faster, the comb method also gives a perfect stitched look. Now let me show you how this looks as we work our way through this section of the hair. As you can see, the stitch braids are really starting to come together, and it's amazing how much visual appeal they add to your hairstyle. As I finish up this section of the hair, you can see how beautiful the stitch braids look. The key is to be patient and take your time, especially if you're new to braiding. Don't be discouraged if it takes a few tries to get the hang of it. With a little practice, you'll be a pro in no time. For the finishing touches, we want to apply hair mousse to add shine and hold to the stitch braids. Blow dry the hair mousse to set the style. And here is the final look. Your straight back stitch braids slayed to perfection. To recap, the key to masterful stitch braids is to take your time, be gentle with the hair, and practice, practice, practice. With these tips and a little bit of patience, you'll be rocking stitch braids like a pro in no time. Thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to hear about your experiences with stitch braids in the comments below. If you're new to braiding, don't worry. It takes time and practice to get the hang of it, but with these tips, you'll be well on your way. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're looking for more hairstyling tutorials, be sure to check out my other videos for tons of tips and tricks.